Worst Explorer here, and today we're going to be taking a look at SAO, which is an easy Linux machine from Hack the Box. So let's dive into it. We're going to go ahead and start off with an Nmap scan. I'm just going to do a super basic scan right now. We'll come back and take a look and see if there's anything else that we want to run some scripts on or take a deeper look at here in a sec. But for now, we're going to play it simple. Let's see what we get. All right, it looks like we have port 22 open, which is SSH, and a filtered port 80. Looks like it might be some kind of web service that's being blocked by a firewall or something like that. Something we can't access now, but we'll definitely probably want to take a look at later. And then it also looks like we have port 55555 open with an unknown service. So let's go ahead and do a little more in-depth scan here. So I'm going to do just the standard scripts and then try and enumerate versions. We're also going to make it verbose, and we are only going to do port 80 and port 55555, and I'm going to output a file just to sao.nmap in case we need to go back and take a look later. So we'll go ahead and run that. While that's running, since it may take a minute, let's go ahead and try and visit port 55555 in our browser and see if there's anything there. And it looks like there is. We get something called request baskets, and it's letting us create a new basket to collect and inspect HTTP requests. It's powered by request baskets here at the bottom, version 1.2.1. Let's go ahead and create a basket and see what happens. So it looks like it's giving us a token here. Let's open our basket. We get an empty basket. This basket is empty. Send requests to this URL and they'll appear here. So let's give it a try. Let's just copy our URL and paste it into our browser here and see what happens. So here's our requests. Looks like we can open up and see our headers. Cool. Let's see what else we've got in here. Some settings. Looks like we can forward requests. That's interesting since we had port 80, which was filtered. So let's see if we can do that. Let's just try forwarding it to localhost on the server. Let's go ahead and proxy the response. And let's see what happens. So it has been reconfigured. And let's try just refreshing this tab here. And we get something called mall trail. It looks like things aren't completely coming through. Images and things are broken. Let's go ahead and inspect this and see what's going on. It looks like it's coming from images / calendar PNG. Let's see. Let's see what happens if we try and go to that. I'm guessing it's not going to work. Oop. We don't need all of that. Let's go ahead and delete some of this here. / and nothing, it just stays on the same page. So this must not be a full proxy. We're only visiting just the main page here, but I wonder if we go into our settings, we might be able to let's see, images, calendar.png. We might be able to access that if we put that in here. So images, calendar.png. Let's see what happens if we change the URL fresh, and there's our calendar image. So we are able to access other pages. We just have to update our request basket every time, and we have to know exactly where we're pointing. So That could be interesting, but let's see what else we can find. So let's start with a Google search for Maltrail version 0.53. And it looks like we do have RCE, remote code execution. So it looks like it says, in this case, the username parameter of the login page, okay, we did find that, doesn't properly sanitize the input, allowing an attacker to inject OS commands. The service uses subprocess checkout function to execute a shell command. Okay. So basically, this is a Python script. We're just going to pass it our listening IP address, listening port, and target URL. I'm guessing it's going to send us back a shell, but let's take a look and see what we've got. So here's our script. So we're going to pass it our listening IP, listening port, URL, like we said earlier. And then it's going to point to the login page. And it's putting together a Python reverse shell payload here. And then it's going to base64 encode it. And then it looks like it's going to curl our target URL, which will be our request basket URL. And it's going to pass it that username parameter that wasn't sanitized. And then we're going to inject our command right here. So it's going to echo our encoded payload. And then it's going to decode it from base64. And then it's going to run it in SH. So pretty straightforward. Well, let's go ahead and copy this over. We are going to do gedit, and we'll just put it in exploit.py. We'll just go ahead and paste it here. And then let's try running it here. Python 3 exploit. I can't type .py. And we need our listening IP. Okay, so we need to start up a listener here. Let's do ncat lvnp 9001. So then we're going to do Python 3 exploit.py. And our IP address is 10.10.14.11. We're doing 9001 for our listening port. And we need our request basket URL here. So let's go ahead and paste that in. And that did not work. Oh, I need to get rid of this image pointing to the image in our request basket settings. Let's try running that again. And with any luck, we should get a shell. And we do. Beautiful. So let's see. Who am I? Who am I? I spelled that wrong. We're a user named Puma. Let's go ahead and upgrade our shell a little bit. Python-c import pty.spawn bin bash. And there we go. One of the first things I like to do when I get a shell is run sudo-l to see if we can run anything sudo, and we can. Looks like we can run systemctl status trail.service with no password. So let's go ahead and just try running this command and see what happens. And terminal is not fully functional. Okay. And here's our output. Okay. Well, let's see what we can do with that. So let's search for systemctl status. Let's try like prevesc and see what we get here. Sudo systemctl privilege escalation. That sounds promising. And let's see, we're not updating config file. We're not restarting the service. Spawn shell in the pager. Okay, so this is our command right here, systemctl status on a service. If we can execute systemctl status as root, we can spawn another shell in the pager. So then we can actually just run commands in the pager like less, just by using an exclamation point and then our command. So let's try that out over here. Let's run our command again. So sudo, and then we should just be able to hit that, and let's try like bin bash. And we have root. So let's go into our root directory here and cat our flag. And that is the box. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.